Hello guys, it's me again, Skip to my Nash, your French boy, for another video. Wow, two videos in a row, Nash? What's going on? Well, you know, we're trying to get the maximum like content now on YouTube as well. So here we are. I want to talk about today in this video about the importance, how vital it is to actually talisman swap. Why is that so important, you may wonder? Well, you have 4 slots that you can unlock it throughout the game, right? And they are pretty vital in invasions, but even more so in duels. Why is that? So let me explain to you my talisman, like my inventory regarding talismans. Why talismans? What talisman do I run? So at every beginning of every fight, I use those ones. I start with those ones, those 4 ones. So Crimson Umber Medallion +2, who raises maximum HP. Ritual Shield Talisman, raise defense when HP is at maximum. Ragear's Arsenal, raise maximum equip load. And finally, the Archery Favor +2, raise maximum HP, stamina, and equip load. These for me are 4 vital talismans to start a duel. For obvious reasons, this one like gives you maximum HP. You have to get it just like in Dark Souls 3. For every Souls PvP, you need like Mom Mask in DS1, for instance. You need the most HP that you can get, especially in this game, right? I have 60 vigor, but you should go always for the maximum health that you can get. And then paired with this, and I always swap like those 2 rings, because the jar and the archery favor, I don't touch them during the fight. They stay how they are. I don't touch them. I'm only gonna swap between those 2 slots. With the health talisman, I use the defense shield. So, what swap am I doing during a fight? I start with the left one, the life talisman one, because like in DS3, I like to swap to the actual ritual sword talisman, which raise attack power when HP is at maximum. Problem in this game, like we said in our precedent video, is like everything does so much damage. So even with the negation, like the defense boost that this talisman gives you when you get hit first time, it doesn't cover. When I switch to this one, which usually like cut off my health for a little bit, I think this talisman gives me, like, as you can see, 1975, and now I have 2130, so around 200 HP, a bit less than that, but it's not enough. So usually, as I cannot do this in this game, I switch immediately to the mid fight. I'm fighting this player. I have like the mid screen open, and then I switch to this. So I go to my menu, start, go down to this talisman, and then press the Bless Do Talisman, which slowly restores HP. I think it's 2 or 3 HP per second. So I switch to this. What this swap did for me? Why is it so important? Because when I get the first hit, right, I recover, I get another chance for my over talisman to give me once more, another time, a really needed defense boost. So technically, I get the bonuses from this talisman, the Ritual Shield Talisman, twice. First time I get hit, and with one of my two swaps here. Usually it's this one. And so this in every duel is a huge swap. Is a awesome and huge swap to do. And I think you should do it. It's very necessary. Everything like we said, everything does so much damage in this game, so you need all the defenses that you can get, because it's what, 3 or 4 shot scenario in every duel, even more so in invasion. So you need all the defense you can get, and this swap right here gives you um, really what you need in terms of defenses. So let's say I get hit. These talismans effect, I use them. I got my talisman, like I get hit more than twice. So what should we do with these slots? For me, I'm gonna use this line, which is I have a green turtle talisman. This is for stamina recovery. This is the spear talisman. When I use S-stock or spears, it's pretty much the equivalent of the Leo ring, I believe. And those 2 rings, I'm gonna talk about it because they're vital. The blue feathered branch sword raises defense when HP is low, and I always usually use that because I love to dual wield my weapons, katanas, S-stocks, straight swords, you name it, which boosts dexterity about 5 points. I have 55 dex on this build, so it gives me 5 more dex, so 60 dex, and raise my attack power with successive attacks. So it's a very neat talisman. So usually I swap to this one. So during the fight, mostly from the beginning to the middle and close to the end, I use those talismans. And when that happens at the very late game, let's say I'm super low, I'm absolute. Well, I'll use my 2 favorite rings, the red feather branch sword. So you see, like I'm using the swaps are pretty easy to do because I only have to go up and down, like vertically. But we started here. Usually go this or this at the beginning, and then at the very end I use this one. So red feather branch sword, raise attacks power when HP is low. I don't know exactly the numbers. I believe it's like 30% more power. And then I press R1, so I don't have to go back to the menu again, and I can switch this usually to this. And I finish the fights, all my fights when I'm very low, with those 2 rings, those 2 talismans. Sorry, I said rings because, you know, PS3 habits. So yeah, red feather branch sword, blue feather branch sword, and that's about it. 30% more attacks, 30% more defense, and they are huge. When I say huge, I mean you have to use them, because this blue one saves yourself for many dangers when the 2 players are very low. You don't have to underestimate those 2 rings. And this one, of course, it's a very neat mechanic that you have like in every Souls games, in every also fighting game that you can have. It's the comeback mechanic. So you have to use them. They're too vitals to not use them. I don't know, pay attention because those 2 rings are pretty heavy, especially this one, 1.4 weight and 1.1 weight. So make sure when you make your build to not fat roll with the gear you have, you know. It's very important. We don't have, I think, as of right now, a Soul Elden Ring planner, Elden Ring character planner, but make sure you have the right amount of weight to wield those ones. Okay, so it's very important. What do I want to say? Yes, so don't underestimate those 2 rings. They're very important. make sure to not fat roll at the very end. You don't really don't want to fat roll at the end of a fight. So yeah, ring swapping is fundamentally is important. Oh, what did I do there? Sorry. You need to you need to ring swap. You need to regen a little bit of health. You need um, to um, to tank one hit at the beginning and then swap to something depending on what you're using. Leo ring, the what is it called? What's the name? Spear talismans or any other. I mean, you can. This is a really tailored talisman that I'm talisman inventory that I'm using. I did it myself. You can do it by doing this. So you can R3, L3, and then usually by default it's by item type, but you want to do or by you want to order them by this one, order of acquisition. So it allows you to put everything as you want and pick every talisman one by one in order to make it yours completely and make those swaps, which are vitals, which are, in my opinion, very, very vitals to make. Pay attention that when you come back of the game, you can do that as well for weapons and armors, but pay attention that when you quit the game and come back to the game, they're gonna be messed up. So all you gotta do is like press L3 and then go, don't touch anything else, and then put order of acquisition. See, like I did the same for my weapons here. Be able to swap them mid-fight if I need to, but talisman rings are vital. To conclude, ring swapping in the S3 is vital. You have in the S3 and in our Souls game, but in Elden Ring, of course, it's fundamental you do that. Because first of all, it seems at the beginning when you start the game or you start PvPing, you think, oh, how can I do this? It seems like very complicated. It's really not. After a few practice a little bit, press the start button, go to equipment, X, go down 2 steps to 3 steps, and then press X again. Don't worry, you have the lock on your opponent, so you can like move with like your 2 analog sticks. It's not too hard to do. You'll see after a few practice time, you'll be able to do this no problem. Okay, so those swaps, those are my swaps. Are pretty easy. So as you again only use 2 slots, and I go like vertically for those few rings. So I'm only using pretty much 8 talismans. I said rings, sorry, it's really a bad habit, but I use those 8 talismans pretty much to swap in a fight, and are very vitals. They are pretty easy to do after a little bit of practice. They can save yourself from major danger at the end of a fight. They can allow you to come back as well with those 2 rings, 2 talismans. And yeah, by only pressing R1 in the inventory, you can switch, as you see, you can switch between talismans. So it's very easy to do, and depending on your setup, you can adjust and put the right talisman for your weapons that you're using. That can maybe get you a guard break, get you a major riposte if you're going for parries, even though I don't recommend that, but that's for another video. If you can do that, you have as well some other talisman that you can use. I'm considering using the talisman of like the equivalent of Prisoner's Chain. I don't use it on this build, but I'll look into it. But I just wanted to showcase my talisman swaps, my talisman inventory that I handmade it myself, and to really express to you guys how vital it is, how simple, not too complicated it is, and how it can get you comfort and bonuses mid-fight. Because you're gonna fight your opponent, but doing those very quick swaps and by talisman gives you sometimes and can as well win a fight for you. Like I'm not gonna stress this enough, but red feather branch sword, blue feather branch sword at the end can gives you can allow you to come back in a very desperate situation. So don't sleep on them. It's not hard to do. And at the beginning of the fight, again, huge bonuses from those two talismans, ritual sword talismans and ritual shield. It would be a shame to not using and just fighting your opponent without, if you can, swap those two. So it is. Let me know what you think. Let me know what talisman you're using. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for the comments and the amazing support I have in the first one. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure, take care of your swaps, and see you in the lands between. All right? Take care of yourself. Thank you so much.